Hello, everyone. My name is Lacey. This is Sekhmet, and you are watching Reptiles. Happy New Year, friends. Today, I want to tell you about a really cool snake. Not Sekhmet, although she is very cool and very noodly and very silly. But no, I want to tell you and talk to you about the Santa Catalina Island rattlesnake, also called Crotalus catalinensis, which is fun to say. The Santa Catalina Island rattlesnake is endemic to the island of Catalina off the coast of California. I think it's technically part of the Channel Islands, but call me crazy, I don't know. It's not too far off of Dana Point, but it's really cool. So it's this little island off the coast of California. It's not very big, and it has its own species of rattlesnake. But what's kind of crazy about this rattlesnake, there's a couple crazy things about this rattlesnake. What's crazy about this rattlesnake is that it doesn't have a rattle. It's missing the thing that's in the name. So that's kind of fun. So this snake does not have a rattle. Why doesn't this snake have a rattle? So whenever a rattlesnake sheds, they usually leave what's called a button, which is a tiny little bit at the end of the tail, which once you have enough button segments, create that rattle and makes our iconic rattlesnake noise. But the Catalina rattlesnake, whenever they shed their skin, they shed the button as well. So they never get enough segments to have a rattle. And some scientists believe that this is because on an islet earlier in its evolution and development, there wasn't really a need for it to have a rattle. It was a lot more stealthy. The rattlesnakes that had smaller rattles or less rattles did better reproducing than the ones with rattles, and they were selected for to survive. So makes them a more stealthy rattlesnake. So the Catalina Island rattlesnake has no rattle, which is kind of wild. Another fun thing about the Catalina Island rattlesnake is that most rattlesnakes are heavy-bodied, they are ground-dwelling, they're big boys, you know? But the Catalina rattlesnake, they're like a medium-sized rattlesnake, so they get like 2 feet long, and Sekhmet here is almost 2 feet, believe it or not. So it's not a very big rattlesnake. Very kind of dainty and kind of cute. But the wild thing is, while most rattlesnakes will stay on the ground and be ground-dwelling, the Catalina Island rattlesnake will actually be slightly arboreal. They will take to the bushes, like they'll climb up in small bushes and up in small trees to help hunt their prey, which is like mice, lizards, small birds on occasion, which is kind of cool, you know? And the best place on Catalina, the best when you're going there, if you're gonna look for them in the wild, which, you know, if you do, use tools, use precaution, don't use your hands to flip rocks and stuff, but they are active at night, and at night they can just be like straight up found in the open, just like chilling, minding their business. And in the hot months like July, rather than finding them open on the ground, you'll find them in the low branches of bushes to get them away from the hot ground so they can cool off a little bit, because July is the hottest month on the island. So some theories for why they are mildly arboreal is, you know, they'll use the branches of bushes and trees to get off the hot ground so they're not cooking, which reasonable, or to chase their prey when it climbs a tree. Now, Catalina rattlesnakes, they are endangered. They are not doing great, which, you know, they're only found on one island in the whole world. So already, like, their options are a little limited here. But their populations really started taking a hit with the introduction of invasive mammals, such as like feral cats and foxes, because feral cats will kill them and they will eat them because cats are wild like that. I love my cats, but dang, they're terrible for the environment. They kill everything. And then also with like the introduction of like goats and sheep, anything with a hoof, you know, if they see a rattlesnake, they will stomp and take it out. And then of course, humans see a snake and they're just like, oh, absolutely not. Be gone, danger noodle. So with, you know, combination of these factors is leading to declines in their population, which is really sad. But wonderfully enough, zoos across the country are having basically like backup populations, like species, so they don't go completely extinct. Like I think the Sacramento Zoo recently, their Catalina rattlesnake had a clutch of babies. I think it was like 6 babies, which is really cool. And I saw one recently at the St. Louis Zoo, which is really cool. And I mean, zoos and educational institutions are kind of safeguarding the population by having these extra populations in captivity, because birth rates in the wild just keep going down, which is really depressing. But a researcher out of Loma Linda University in California went to Catalina to like kind of study the Catalina rattlesnakes just to see kind of what's up. And what they found in their research was that the Catalina rattlesnake is a lot more defensive, a lot more bitey than snakes on the mainland, which according to the paper, I guess snakes on islands are generally more docile and a lot less likely to strike and bite, and they'll be a lot more chill. But counterintuitively, the Catalina island rattlesnake gets all bent out of shape, and they strike, and they bluff strike, you know, trying to get you to go away and leave them alone. And they think this is because of those invasive mammals and them having to defend themselves. My theory is that maybe they have to be a little more cantankerous because they don't have a rattle to tell people to get away. I'm not a doctor, so I'm gonna go with Dr. William Hayes on this one and be like, okay, that could be a reason why. I'll go with him. He's done the research, he's been in the field. But yeah, the Catalina island rattlesnake, they're super cool, super endangered. If you find yourself on Catalina, on the west, typically on like the western side of the island, in like the drier, more deserty areas is where you'll find them. If you're over there and you're exploring one day and you see one, take a picture, enjoy them and appreciate them, but leave them alone, because again, super endangered, but also super cool. The rattleless, mildly arboreal rattlesnake. Super neat. I would love to see these in the wild one day. And hey, if you comment, you subscribe, maybe we can make that happen. That would be super cool. But yeah, until next time, friends, never stop learning, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. See ya. Say goodbye, Sekhmet. Say goodbye, googly eye. Bye, guys.